Hi everyone, it's me Whimsy, and I'm here in my capsule hotel, and I decided that I would give you a remote that I did last night while I was trying to sleep. So it was interesting. Last night when I was doing my meditation, I got to experience, I'll take my glasses off because they're giving a glare. I got to experience what it was to be Elon Musk right now, and what it felt like as Elon Musk after he took Twitter. I feel lost. I feel completely lost. I feel completely overwhelmed as Elon Musk. I feel like I honestly don't know what to do. And I feel as Elon Musk that I'm just doubling down and taking money from extremist groups, etc. But it's all just an expression of the fact that I really have taken on something I don't understand. The company is basically the people of Twitter, and the people of Twitter have declared war on Elon Musk. It's very different than the fantasy he had when he first thought about Twitter and using Twitter originally to promote his ideas about space, etc. And instead, it has devolved into Twitter against him, the people who use Twitter against him. And rather than admitting defeat, he has doubled down. So that's kind of an egotistical response to his situation. Because he can't control where the energy is going, he's doubling down. You can't admit you're wrong. So you spend even more time fighting with the opposition. It will not bode well for him because there has to be an account and a reckoning. This is the time of the account and the reckoning, and that goes for all of us. I've talked in the past about the fact that 200,000 years ago, humans almost went extinct. There weren't a lot of people on the planet 200,000 years ago. We had, in fact, gone extinct all over the world. But there was one tribe 200,000 years ago that gave us a gift, and that was the ability to take responsibility for their actions and to work cohesively as a group. Inside each of us is the memory of our ancestors. And our ancestors sought unity and justice absolute, which goes back to the conspiracy of silence we've talked about, pressure that is placed on therapists, on the criminal justice system, etc., to patronize victims of violent crime, tell them to move on and just be happy, encourage them not to go up against narcissists, sociopaths that might have harmed them. The goal being to kick the can down the road, make the victim the subject rather than the perpetrator, and we wind up in our current situation with no accountability. It's like a snowball that as it goes down the hill, it gets faster and faster and bigger, and that is the situation we find ourselves in right now. None of us is above the law. None of us is inherently better than anybody else. And we are all entitled to respect. And we must all cooperate and work cohesively if we are to survive. This is a decision we made 200,000 years ago, and this is the decision we must make now today. This is why Hollywood has to die. I've talked about the fact that Hollywood would collapse. We spoke about this a couple of years ago. The mega mansions that everybody wanted to have in Hollywood now seem repulsive. They seem out of step, out of touch with the common person. You have a city like Hollywood where there's 10 square blocks of homeless people, and the producers, the executive producers, are living in mega mansions on a mountain somewhere, not paying their workers adequately, not treating their fellow human beings with respect, This is a recipe for disaster, and it always collapses. Throughout time, we have seen that there is always revolution. And this is why Hollywood collapses. People are going off and just making independent films. They're coming up with other creative ways to express themselves as artists and actors. People don't want to sit in movie theaters anymore. The people that propped up that lifestyle are no longer attractive. It isn't an attractive proposition when you think about us going forward. You can't call yourself an environmentalist and then sit on a throne with 17,000 square feet suppressing the wages of other actors so that you and other people that make films so that you can keep it all for yourself. Same is happening at Amazon. Suppression of wages, not giving people a living wage, not giving them a union, taking their money and then using it to fly around the world, not paying your taxes, and then talking about charity. Charity from the money of your employees. Charity begins with you paying your employees a living wage and paying your taxes. Whether you're an executive producer in Hollywood, you're Jeff Bezos, or anybody else. This is a time when more stuff, more space, more opulence, more consumerism that sets you apart from your fellow human beings. We now understand that that is not the natural order. That the natural order is that we're in this together, and that if we want to save this planet, we have to do it together. And so anyone that doesn't understand this fundamental truth will collapse, which is why Twitter will collapse, which is why the aristocracy is collapsing. And any expression or any economic system that's the haves and the have-nots will collapse. And this is what we're witnessing. This is why China collapses. It was never a communist country. It's a military dictatorship. There's incredible poverty in China. The people are not equal. Their voices are not equal. So it was never what it was supposed to be. It was never a pure society of communism. It was a military dictatorship with no chance for women to get ahead in the political system, because you had to go to the military schools to become part of the political system, and women couldn't get into those schools. And so now China faces its next revolution. It has overextended its borders just like Rome did. And when we followed the energy so many years ago, we saw that just like Rome, they would not be able to maintain it. And just like Rome, they have collapsed. Which brings us to February. The world is waking up. We no longer find this type of opulence attractive because it harms the planet and because it hurts fellow human beings. Take the example of a movie set where extras are barely paid wages that they can live on. You also have the people doing the physical work, the lighting people, the grips, etc., treated like they are somehow less than the actor, which is, of course, absurd. Everyone should be paid a decent wage. Nobody should be living in a $17,000 mega mansion. It collapses, and it's going to collapse real soon. So that's where we're at, and it's for the best, and we will save ourselves. So I think that Elon Musk, at this point, he can try to sell Twitter, but given the poor shape that Twitter is already in, it's going to be unlikely that he will be able to recoup what he originally invested in buying Twitter. All right. Thank you for listening to this brief video from beautiful Tokyo, and I will speak to you again soon. Be well.